Hello everyone, I'm back again. I keep saying I'm going to have a message a week later, but all this stuff keeps going through my mind. I just got out of the gym this morning, 6:30 on a Tuesday morning, and just reading everybody's comments, crying on a treadmill. And just one correction, I said in my first post I was 431 pounds. I'm actually 341 pounds, or was. I have now dropped 37 pounds, and just my sister has given me so much drive right now. But I want to take this time to talk about my dad, because everybody keeps commenting on the Buellz family and the Buellz family. It all comes from my mom and my dad. I'm going to take this time to talk about my dad, who's like one of the hardest workers I known growing up. I mean, he worked every day. He was a union carpenter for 41 years. Drove into Pittsburgh every day, which is probably the toughest part of his job, but he got up and did it because he had to support a family. So some of the lessons he taught me growing up, I mean, my dad was a big, burly man, but a lot of people were intimidating him and didn't realize how soft of a man he was, and whoever didn't get to know. But people that knew him knew that he was one of the warm, biggest-hearted men in Salzburg, and a hell of a great golfer, by the way. But I'll never forget a lesson he taught me when I was 6, 7 years old in the line of the grocery store. There used to be a guy in town we used to call Dirty Ernie as a kid. You know, you're just horrible as kids, you know, not thinking about feelings. And he'd be walking down the street and we'd all yell, Dirty Ernie, Dirty Ernie. And I'll never forget the time. I want my dad to know this. That's why I'm posting these videos. I want to just say stuff that's on my mind and get it out. But we're in a line at the grocery store, and this gentleman, Dirty Ernie, who I'm in the background behind my dad, kind of snickering, oh, there's Dirty Ernie. I'm not saying it out loud, but thinking to myself. And he goes to purchase his groceries: milk, ketchup, bread, eggs, the basic necessities just to get through life. And I remember being there. It's just as vivid as now as it was when I was young, but he didn't have enough money to pay for that little bit of stuff. Pulling out change out of his pocket. Probably as a kid, I'm snickering, you know, and he didn't have enough money to pay for his stuff, and the cash register lady is like, treated him just like a piece of garbage. Like, you don't have enough money, you got to take some of this stuff back. Just demoralize him in front of people. And I watched my dad look at that register lady with the meanest look, because he was intimidating, and he's like, you got to be kidding me, you're going to talk to him like that. How much money does he owe? And I think it was like $1.05 or whatever. And my dad said, you should be ashamed of yourself, ma'am. I'll pay for it. And I don't know if it ended up paying for his ketchup or his bread, but, and I remember my dad paying for that money and just embracing Dirty Ernie. And Dirty, I don't even know if Ernie said thanks. I can't even call him Dirty Ernie. Ernie said thank you. You know, my dad just kind of patted him on the back and said, you know, God bless you. And man, I looked at my dad in such a different light, you know, and it wasn't over after that. You know, that's what parenting needs to be about. We get in my dad's truck, and my dad looks at me right in the eye, just like I said, a 5, 6-year-old kid looks me straight in the eye and says, do you have any idea what that man has been through in life? You don't know, your buddies don't know, no one knows what led him to where he's at, you know? And I looked at that man as, I didn't look at Dirty Ernie anymore as Dirt. I looked at Ernie as Ernie, where he'd come from. I don't know where he'd come from, but the lesson, my dad does not know how much impact that has had on me to this day, and how I treat my kids, and you know, how you never make fun of people less fortunate. But for my dad to take the time and explain to me that you don't realize how fortunate you are, and there's millions of people in this world that are different and have their own ways of living, and you got to respect it, you know? And that's, I mean, in the song Humble and Kind, like I say it again, listen to it, man. It teaches a lesson. But I just want to let my dad know, just that little thing meant so much. And the fact, I mean, I could tell you stories about my dad, I mean, about showing up. I mean, my dad wasn't a coach, and he didn't have time to do all that. But my dad showed up for every cheering match for my sister, every football game, baseball, basketball game for my brother, and for myself, you know. He may not have been there on time, but my dad showed up. A perfect example, I remember, I think we were in Myersdale in a away football game, which was an hour and a half away from us. My dad showed up like the typical kid looking for your dad in the stands, and I remember dad showing up with drywall dust all over him, all over his face, and one of my buddies said, who's that? Is that your dad? Like, almost laughing. He's like, And I never felt so much pride. I was like, yeah, that's my dad. Yeah, he came to see us. He came to see us play. I don't care if it was the first quarter. I know my dad was at work, but he showed up. So if you're a father and you're coming home from work and you think you're too damn tired or you got stuff to do, get to the games. Just showing up means a lot. Just show up.